Experienced Brooklyn truck accident lawyer. Truck accidents are the deadliest types of motor vehicle collisions. Semi-truck crashes account for about half of all automobile fatalities in America each year. If you or a loved one has been injured in a truck accident, it is important to get an experienced lawyer on your side as soon as possible. What should you do if you get into a truck accident in Brooklyn? It can be difficult to sort through all the confusion after a truck crash. However, it is important to notify the police and emergency personnel as soon as possible so they can assist and provide any necessary medical attention to injuries sustained from the crash. For an incident to be filed as a claim, the police must take statements from everybody involved and any witnesses they can find. Any evidence, pictures detailing the damage or testimonies from bystanders, should also be documented as soon as possible. Truck accident lawyer Samantha Kucher explains the common causes of truck accidents in Brooklyn. Human error. Though truckers are aware of the increased risks in their line of work, there are some instances where drivers operate recklessly. They may either drive too fast to make up mileage goals set by their company, operate while under the influence, or even drive drowsy to reach those tough goals. Trucks not properly maintained. Trucks are subjected to harsh driving conditions. The stress put on a truck when it is driven thousands of miles a week makes the truck dangerous even with care. Equipment malfunction. Although not every driver is negligent, a trucking company may also be at fault for any defective parts that caused or contributed to the accident. Improper cargo loading. Commercial trucks often contain hazardous materials such as gasoline, oil, or explosive substances. When loading a truck bed, care must be taken to avoid spilling these contents out onto the road with the risk of major accidents and injuries. Major differences between a truck accident case and a car accident case in Brooklyn. Bigger insurance policy coverage. The liability insurance policies for truck drivers are much higher than for private car owners. Greater collateral damage. Commercial trucks tend to be much larger and heavier than passenger vehicles. When they crash, the effects on the nearby property will be greater than those in a car collision. More significant injuries sustained. The injuries sustained from truck accidents are more serious and often life-changing. They include whiplash, broken bones, brain trauma, and lacerations. Bigger medical bills. Victims of truck accidents are faced with a lifelong struggle due to injury and trauma sustained from the crash. Greater risk of death. A truck accident is about 3 to 5 times more likely to result in death than a car crash. How to determine liability for truck accidents in Brooklyn in general. If a truck driver is negligent and he or she caused an accident that injured or killed someone else, then he or she will likely be held responsible for damages to those victims. However, the trucking company, any owners leasing and maintaining the vehicle, as well as any other parties involved in the accident may be partly responsible for damages. An experienced NY personal injury lawyer will help you determine if they are negligent to or have acted unreasonably that contributed to the accident, and thereby share liability with the truck driver who was at fault. The liability of an employer in a truck accident. When you are involved in a truck accident, you may wonder how a truck driver can compensate you for your injuries. However, a commercial insurance policy is often available for large semi-trucks or tractor-trailers that are involved in these truck accidents. Additionally, truck drivers are common law employees for legal purposes. Employers are often responsible if their employees commit negligent acts. Determining whether the parties involved acted negligently. If you have been injured by a commercial truck driver, you will need to show that they acted negligently. Your lawyer will represent your claims about the truck driver's responsibilities and how these responsibilities went unfulfilled, thus causing the accident. For instance, truck drivers are liable for negligence if they willfully disobey traffic laws such as texting while driving, speeding, or running a red light. How much is my case worth? When it comes to truck accidents, it is difficult to answer the question, how much is my case worth? Because there are many factors that affect how your accident case will end and what amount you receive in injury compensation. For this to happen, your New York lawyer is going to discuss your accident details and injuries. Injuries and their long-term consequences are the main factors that impact overall compensation. A permanent injury or impairment would result in you needing significantly more compensation than someone who has suffered mild injuries. Also, it is the accident lawyer's role to determine all responsible parties. The amount of compensation you receive will depend on the policy limits of the responsible party. An experienced New York truck crash lawyer will help get you the money that you need from all sources. Having a skilled lawyer may be able to help you receive compensation for medical expenses, loss of wages, loss of future earnings or benefits, suffering and pain, compensation for a truck accident, economic damages. These sorts of compensations cover the disruption to your employment due to injuries sustained from an accident, medical expenses incurred, loss of income for those who have had their work hours reduced, etc. And non-economic damages, on the other hand, cannot be directly measured and include such things as pain and suffering, emotional distress caused by injury, as well as any anxiety you may experience when it comes time for surgery or during recovery periods. Rollover truck accidents in New York. In this type of truck accident, the vehicle rolls or topples over. This sudden roll can cause the passengers to be injured by the objects inside the vehicle or be ejected from it as the vehicle tumbles. Runaway truck accidents. Runaway truck accidents often happen when a truck's brakes malfunction and a driver loses control of their vehicle. These accidents usually happen when a truck is traveling downhill. Driving downhill can be dangerous, especially for trucks, because the added weight behind them can add strain to the vehicle's brakes and can cause them to snap. Aside from driving downhill, other common causes of runaway truck accidents in New York include unsafe roads, roads with limited space, incorrect signage, or the interference of animals and workers. Bad weather conditions, rain and snow increase the risk of an accident by making the roads slippery. Company negligence. This can happen when there is an inadequate routine inspection of trucking equipment. Driver negligence. Driver negligence can take many forms. According to the New York State Department of Motor Vehicles, 83% of all truck accidents in 2014 were caused by human error. This includes driver fatigue, truck overloading, substance abuse, and driver inexperience. Statute of limitations for truck accident victims. Although there is a statute of limitations of 3 years for commercial truck accident lawsuits in New York, you need to act quickly or you may risk losing your case. The amount of time in which you must act varies depending on the specifics of your case. This is why it is crucial to file your claim as soon as possible to have enough time to prepare for your case. Getting the help of top-rated Brooklyn truck accident attorneys. If you or someone in your family was hurt in a truck collision, call the experienced NYC truck accident and personal injury lawyers at Kucher Law Group and schedule a free consultation today. If you decide to file an injury claim, our firm will act on your behalf and represent your best interests with compassion and competence from start to finish. We don't get paid until you do. Call now at 929-563-6780. We are here to help.